you know in your gut that this is bad. If a country like ours, supposedly the most powerful in the world, is devoting all of its time internally to conversations about Israel, it's probably not going in a good direction. There's probably a lot being neglected in favor of this very specific boutique conversation about this tiny little country. It's just not good for anybody, including Israel, by the way. Israel, a tiny country in the Middle East, not critical to our national security, by the way. But the conversation, the bandwidth, is consumed by questions of Israel. So what's the antidote to this? How do you fix it? Here are 4 things you can do to make the conversation about Israel and the relationship with Israel a lot healthier than it currently is. Here are the 4. The first is get some global perspective on what we're talking about. The second thing we can do after getting global perspective on what we're actually talking about here, a tiny country that is in the deepest sense insignificant to the United States, the second thing we can do is get some freaking self-respect and stop being ordered around by a client state. The third thing I think that would be very helpful to restore health and balance to the relationship between the United States and Israel is restore the concept of citizenship in the United States. If you're an American citizen, it means something. The first thing it means is equality. And the last thing that I think we need to do to restore balance between the relationship between the United States and Israel and to restore some sanity to the public conversation on this topic is to get our theology right. And this is not a message aimed at Israelis or Jews. This is a message aimed at Christians, who are the largest group of Israel supporters in the United States. And their view of Israel is colored not just by sentimental attachment, which is fine, or trips to Israel, great, no problem, but by a Christian heresy, the oldest of the Christian heresies, which is that God somehow prefers some people based on their DNA. And of course, the whole point of Christianity is that that is no longer true.
Every single Republican I'm aware of, other than you and maybe Massey, is like in this weird kind of Israel worship mode all the time.
A candidate steps forward and they're running for Congress. They get approached by all kinds of groups, all the special issue groups, everything from pro-life groups to pro-gun groups. There's a group called AIPAC. They come and they want to know what's your position on Israel, and they want you to write a paper. AIPAC will take Republicans and Democrats, new members, on a special trip to Israel.
Do they pay for it?
I don't know. I don't know because they didn't take me.
Were you the only one in your class who didn't go?
I think I'm the only one in my class that did not get invited. But here's the situation, and it can't be ignored, and I have no problem talking about it. I think any special interest group, if they are representing another country, a foreign country, they have to register that way.
Under the Foreign Agent Registration Act, FARA.
Yes, they should register under that law.
Why aren't they registered under FARA? I don't understand that.
I think everybody's too afraid to push that issue.
Why?
Tucker, I have no idea. Because I think it's because it's such a strong group that will come against you. They will come against you. They will fund a primary against you. I'll probably get a primary funded against me for even saying this on this show. But you know what? I don't care.
I think you were getting one anyway.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm probably getting one. And that's fine. And my district can vote for whoever they want to represent them. They can.
It's just funny. It's like you and Massey are the only member.
We're not the only ones that think it, but we're the only ones that say it.
I mean, you're going to get crushed for saying this.
Probably.
You know, when you see videos like this, right, it's so laughable, isn't it? That the same people who will preach to you about democracy, about the rule of law, about freedom of speech, about freedom of expression, about how African leaders are dictators, authoritarians, which some of them are. I'm not denying that fact. Some of them are exactly what the West say they are. But my point is, it's laughable to see them say all this while at the same time funding horrible things in the Middle East. It's laughable to see them say all this while at the same time invading other countries in the Middle East or in Africa. Isn't that laughable? You know, it's funny to see them say all this while at the same time stealing our resources, okay, pitting us against each other, funding horrible leaders in Africa, okay, they will come up and say that these people are horrible people, they are terrible, they are dictators, they are authoritarians. And they will go to other countries and fund those same people who are the same as the other people they accuse of being those things. Now, let me be clear. Like I've said before, I'm being honest here. Some African leaders are horrible people. That is true. Some of them are very, very bad people. That is true. Some of them are so corrupt. That is true. Some of them don't care about their own people. I mean, the African people, the people they lead, they don't care about them. That is true. That is true. Let's say, for example, case in point, Nigeria and Tinubu. How can someone be a governor, I think, for 8 years and now a president, but yet still the country doesn't have a good hospital that can cure them in case they fall sick? How is that possible? And Buhari was there for 8 years and he died in a hospital in, I think, in the UK. How is that possible? Jonathan was there for 4 years. Still no good hospital. So some politicians in Africa are terrible people. That is true. But hearing this from the Americans is so interesting. It's so interesting. Listen, I love Tucker Carlson, and I have watched video of Marjorie Greene, and some of the things she has said so far, in my own opinion, made a lot of sense. But the vast majority of Americans, especially their elites and their politicians, are hypocrites. They are hypocrites. You know, they are the same people who talked about world peace while invading other countries. They are the same people who talked about universal human rights while allowing Israel to starve Gazians to death. They're the same people who talked about peace and security in the world while at the same time bombing the hell out of Iran. How does that even make any sense to you? How does that make any sense? They're the same people talking about African unity while at the same time funding horrible leaders in Africa like the one in Ivory Coast, Alexander Ouattara. You see? You see, right? Exactly what I'm talking about. They have sentenced, I think, this guy from Congo, what's that name again? Joseph Kabila. The National Court of Justice has done that to Joseph Kabila. So my question is, what about George Bush? Why is no one going after him? After all, he murdered a lot of people in Iraq. The whole Iraq war was his whole doing. He did that. Why is no one holding him accountable? Why? What about Collins Powell? Even, I think, Condoleezza Rice. They are all there. Why is no one doing anything to them? What about Obama, who invaded Libya, and till today, Libya has no peace? What about him? What has been done with him or about him? But if it's a leader from Africa, well, they will arrest them. They will punish them, right? Africa is like their scapegoat. They use us for everything. So, listen, my brothers and sisters, okay? It's really awesome, Africa. The reason why I bring videos like this to you is because I want us to understand how the West operate. And I want us to understand their method and the way they use their media and other things against us. Because if you don't understand how a game is being played, you cannot win it. The only way you win on anything is understanding the way that thing is supposed to be played and how you can outplay the other people. That's just how you win anything. And if you don't know it, you will never win it. So you have to understand how hypocritical these people are, how they speak with both sides of their mouth. You must understand all these things. You must understand that the whole notion of foreign aid is just a cover up for something. That Bill Gates coming to give you, I don't know, malaria medication is not exactly what you might think it is. He might give you the malaria medication, yes. He might say he is struggling to eradicate malaria in Africa, yes. But what is the motive? What is he getting out of it? If you just took the time to look a little bit beneath the surface, you might come to a realization that the malaria medication isn't exactly what it is or what you are being told it is. And also the foreign aid. They're not just there to help you get your life in order or improve your life. If foreign aid were the solution to Africa's problem, don't you think that those problems we all are facing would have been solved by now? Don't you think so? It is not. It is not. There is a larger game in play than you and I know. Look at America, a country that say freedom, liberty, unity, world peace are the pillars that we all stand on, or that America was built upon. That's what they say, right? But is that what they do? Is that what they practice? From 9/11, how many countries have they invaded? How many wars have they started? How many proxy war are they involved in as we speak? Does that even look to you like peace? Does that even have any resemblance to peace? Does that? You have to answer me. When they tell you that any foreign lobbying group must register as that, and then they turn around and give a blind eye to APAC, what does that tell you? When they say we must protect every single person because after all, we are all people of the world, and then they turn around and block all United Nations resolution against Israel, what does that tell you? So all these things you must ask yourself, okay? You must ask yourself that, do these people, I mean the Westerners, actually practice what they preach? Do they? I want you to ask yourself so that you can answer the question by yourself. Do they practice what they preach?